I wasn't really planning on filming today, but I felt like I needed to. 3 years ago today, I sold my horse, and it was one of the hardest things I've ever done. And I know for people who don't ride horses, it probably sounds really stupid, but if you are an equestrian, then you know what it feels like to have a bond with a horse. To have to give that horse up, who is essentially a member of your family, it's hard. It still hurts me to this day that I had to sell him, but I really had no other option at the time, and it was something that I had to do, and I knew that I couldn't keep him and he deserved to go to a better home, which he did. He ended up at a great equestrian facility in LA. Sorry, I'm like super out of breath. I just did a workout, so if I look kind of like red or if I'm really out of breath, that's why. I wanted to talk a little bit about the whole story of how I got Kenny and just kind of reminisce on the time that I had with him. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Make sure to subscribe and also give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. I got a Snapchat memory this morning on my phone, and it was a picture of Kenny from 3 years ago today, and the caption I had put on the photo said, "It's been real." And so then when I saw that, I realized that it's been 3 years since I sold him. So when I was 14, I was a freshman in high school. I moved up north to the Santa Barbara area, and I was living in a really small town. I was new to that whole area, and I had lived in San Diego basically for most of my life prior to that, so I was not used to being in a smaller town. When I was in San Diego, I was taking lessons every week, and then when I moved, I obviously wasn't riding at the same barn anymore, and there weren't really any barns in my new area that I wanted to ride at. I feel like I need to preface this with I was super antisocial when I moved because I just didn't want to move in the first place and like leave all my family and friends and everything. So I was very, I don't want to say rebellious, but I mean I was a teenager and I just was kind of acting out and didn't really want to make new friends. I didn't want to put myself out there. I didn't want to ride at a new barn. I remember my mom and my stepdad talking about the possibility of me leasing a horse, and that never happened because there weren't really a lot of leasing options up in the area I was living in for horses. Like it just, I don't know, like I feel like most of the barns out there were like very, very fancy, expensive barns, and it's like you either take lessons or you own a horse. There weren't really a lot of leasing options. Towards the end of my freshman year, my mom and my stepdad decided to basically get some horses, and my mom was also riding horses at the time, so we were both really excited. I tried out a couple different horses and none of them really were like the right match for me. And then I remember I got picked up from school one day, and my mom told me that her and my stepdad had gone down to LA to try out a horse. She was just like going on and on about how great this horse was, and she was like, "You're gonna love him, like he's so sweet, he's a thoroughbred, like he's literally the exact description of the horse that you want." And I was like, wow, he sounds great. So she was showing me photos. I was super excited. A couple weeks later, we ended up taking a trailer down to LA, and the horse was obviously Kenny. So we get to the equestrian center that he was at, and I hadn't even seen him. I hadn't ridden him yet, like nothing. I had just heard about him. The fact that we had a trailer with us, I like kind of assumed we were going to be bringing him home. So when we got down there, I tried him out, and I remember just like when I tried him out, he literally spooked at something right when I got on, and I was like, this is great. I ended up loving him. He was seriously just so perfect, and I fell in love with him. So we ended up taking him home, and I just was so excited to have my own horse. Like I can't even explain to you guys, like it is literally what I wanted since I was like 10 years old. I wanted my own horse so bad, and I finally had one. That first week of having him was probably the best week of my life because every day after school I was out at the barn and I was just grooming him, tacking him up, riding him, like just enjoying every moment of owning a horse. I had him from my freshman year all the way up to my senior year of high school. So he was seriously like with me throughout my entire high school career, and I honestly don't know what I would have done if I didn't have Kenny like at all throughout high school, because there were so many times where I wouldn't want to be at home or things were just going wrong at school, and I just would go out to the barn and I would cry. I would just go into Kenny's stall and I would hug him and just cry. And like, it was, I know it sounds stupid. Again, if you're not an equestrian, you're probably like, what the heck? But I can't explain it. It was just like the most comforting thing. And I know that I'm probably never gonna have a bond that is exactly the same as the bond I had with Kenny. And that sucks, but my neighbors are like moving stuff around upstairs. So if you can hear noise, I'm really sorry. But anyway, I love that horse so much, and a lot happened throughout high school in my personal life, which I don't want to get into really, but I will say that my mom and my stepdad ended up getting a divorce when I was just about to go into my senior year of high school. So my mom and I moved out, and I just wasn't even really riding as much at the time because of everything else going on in my life. I didn't have a lot of time to go out to the barn and spend hours with Kenny. Like, I was moving and I was starting school and there was just a lot going on. I knew deep down in my heart that I had to sell Kenny. I knew I couldn't keep him, and I knew it was going to get too expensive, and I knew that, you know, I was going to be graduating soon and I was going to go off to college and not really have the time for him. I remember at the very beginning of my senior year, my mom and I went out to lunch and we were talking about possibly selling Kenny, and I said, no way, I'm not selling him. And my mom was like, you're not even riding though. Like, you go out to the barn and you're not riding, you're just grooming him. He needs to be exercised. He needs more than what you're giving him. And I just remember being like, yeah, I'm gonna go out there more, I'm gonna start riding again, but I can't even process what it would be like to not have him, and I can't think about selling him. My mom was like, okay, like, if you're gonna ride him and whatever, like, if you're gonna make the time for him, then I guess like we'll keep him. And I was like, okay. And then a couple months later, I just remember being like, I need to sell him. And not because I wanted to, but because I knew deep down in my heart that I still wasn't giving him the time that he deserved. So I went to my mom and I told her, I think we need to sell Kenny. And that was so hard to be like, to accept the fact that I had to sell him, and it was rough. Well, I remember my mom made an ad for him and she put him on a bunch of different websites, and I just remember being like, I hope nobody sees his ad. Like, I just hope that no one wants to try him out, no one is interested in him. Like, I do not want to sell him. Like, I just don't want to, but I know that I have to. Eventually somebody reached out, and it was a trainer who wanted to come ride him. She ended up loving him and she wanted to buy him, and I wasn't there when she like took him home. Thank God. I don't think I would have been able to see that, but my mom was there, and my mom basically watched Kenny get trailered away, and she was crying and she was really upset because she also really loved Kenny and he was like a part of our family. And I just remember crying so much because I was like, I don't have my horse anymore. Like, that was my, like, that is what got me through high school. That is like, he was literally my soulmate. And I know it's, again, it sounds so cheesy, but like, truthfully, that's how it felt. The person who purchased him was a trainer, or is a trainer. I just know that he is being taken care of so well and he is so loved. And I actually found him a couple months ago, probably back in like August. I found the place that he's at. So basically he's at an equestrian center, but he is like with a specific riding school, and he's a lesson horse now, by the way. I don't know if I said that, but he's a lesson horse. And I ended up finding the riding school that he's at, and they have an Instagram, and I was scrolling through their Instagram and I found a video and a picture of him, and I started crying my eyes out when I found these photos, because I was just like, oh my God, like, He literally looks the exact same. Like, he looks so good. My heart was so full, but also so sad because like that was my horse. I just wanted to put that out there. I felt like I needed to talk about it at least one time today. You know, I need to acknowledge it. But if you want to see more of Kenny, I have a bunch of older vlogs from like back when I was in high school that you can watch on this channel, and Kenny is in almost all of them. Those are all towards like the bottom of my channel if you want to go watch those. I just hope that I can get back into riding soon because I really do miss it. I want to create so much content, but I can't because I don't have horses anymore, and it's so frustrating to me because I have all of these ideas and I'm like, I can't make these ideas come to life until I have horses again. I'm trying everything in my power to get back to that point, to be able to afford to have horses again, and I know that I just need to be patient. But I just want to say thank you to every single person who watches my videos. You don't know how much it means to me and how much you're helping me get back to that point. Hopefully I can get back to making the content that I truly love making in the near future. All I can do right now is just keep giving you guys advice on, you know, different topics, which I do really love doing, and I love helping you guys out, but I still just like really want to get back to making the vlogs that I used to make, and I have so many ideas for future videos that I literally am like writing down in a notebook so that one day I can make those videos. Thank you to every single person who supports my channel, watches my videos, subscribes. I think this is where I'm going to end the video. If you guys enjoyed, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. Again, if you want to watch older videos that I have with Kenny, they are all basically at the beginning of this channel. Here's to the future. Thanks for watching.